Welcome everyone, Jason here. Today we're at the Center for Puppetry Arts in Atlanta, Georgia. I haven't been here since I was a little kid, so I don't have a lot of memories about what's inside, but I do know that a lot of Jim Henson's original Muppets are housed inside this building. Let's go check it out. Alright, I'm about to go through the double doors into a very nostalgic experience. And the first thing you see as you enter is a historical puppet. His name is Orlando, and this is an exhibit showing the making of a puppet. This is what I'm really here for. Heading into the Muppets section. This is one of the puppets from Jim Henson's first puppet show, Sam and Friends. Everyone recognizes this guy. It's everyone's favorite musical dog, Rolf. Oh wow, I was not expecting this. It's Jim Henson's office desk, and it's full of memorabilia. Emmy Awards and a gold and platinum record for his Muppet songs. You know, before Jim was heavily involved with the Muppets, he did experimental films. And this is one of them. And it's very much a product of its time. Apparently this is how they stored Muppets and their spare parts back in the day. I don't remember seeing this guy in anything. These are some old school Sesame Street puppets. That's kind of reminiscent of Ernie in the middle there. Sherlock Hemlock. Brad? Okay. Bertha. Okay, I'm pretty sure Brad became Ernie at some point. You know, I thought this was Sprocket from Fraggle Rock for a second there. But it's the animatronic dog from the Storyteller. Check out all the controls that made this guy move. Back then they used custom microprocessors and actuators to make this happen. Now it's something you could do on your iPhone. These are various tools and parts for making Muppets. That's Jim Henson and Frank Oz on TV. You may recognize Frank Oz as the voice and puppeteer of Yoda. We saw that Ernie wannabe in the other room. Now this is Ernie himself, and Bert, from Bert and Ernie. I think I learned a lot from these two. They were definitely on my TV screen every single day. Right up there with Mr. Rogers. Oh my God. Look at this. It's Big Bird and Oscar the Grouch. I think it's safe to say that Big Bird was a childhood hero of mine, and many others. This tall, feathery guy undoubtedly had an impact on my life. He was a huge influence on me. Oscar was cool too, and undoubtedly a good friend to Big Bird. Now this is cool. When there's not a pandemic going on, you can actually come in here and film your own little show. Now this is kind of like a human dolly to move the puppet along with the camera on screen or across the stage. A puppet dolly. First thing I see when I come into this room is one of the most recognizable Muppets, Scooter. And, well, we all know this guy.
Phenomena.
Yeah, we get it. Yeah, that's enough. And one of the most recognizable Muppets, or puppets, in history, Kermit the Frog himself. One of the first Kermit the Frogs. Another one of my childhood heroes sitting right here in front of me. And just across the way, Kermit's infamous girlfriend, or wife, Miss Piggy. I can't recall what she wore this costume in. Of course, she's keeping a watchful eye on Kermit, as usual. Oh, I remember these guys. Muppets in Space! But they don't have Miss Piggy with them. Curious. Alright, moving on to the next room. And what do I find? Sprocket! This is the actual Sprocket from Fraggle Rock. He's just as memorable to me as any other Muppet. He's in really good shape after being in storage for so long. Decades. And here they are, the Doozers. Working their day away. Just so the Fraggles can have something to eat. And here we have Red, Wimbley, and Uncle Traveling Matt. And this is the Fraggle crew, minus a few notable exceptions. And by the way, there's a reboot of Fraggle Rock on Netflix now. Oh my god. I have no words. Yes! The Dark Crystal. Also revived on Netflix. I remember vividly watching this movie for the first time as a child. It took them 5 years to make this movie, and the process was painstaking. And this is a model of the main set, which I'm guessing they use for wide shots. Look at the controls. And they have like light bulbs that lit different parts of the set. This was all miniatures. You can see how they handcrafted every piece of this and lit the set with tiny little light bulbs. I don't have the puppets for the two main characters out here, but they do have Kira's dress. Well, they have Chamberlain's head. He's one of the Skeksis. I cannot believe they have one of the full Gartham costumes on display. This thing is massive. These things really freaked me out as a kid. And right next door, we have another epic movie, Labyrinth. Ah yes, the four guards. They're guarding one of the doors to the labyrinth, and Sarah has to solve their riddle to get in. My daughter's name is Sarah. Coincidence? Maybe. Here's another one of the doors. And the talking door knocker. I remember this. Now here's the most recognizable puppet, or Muppet, from the movie Labyrinth. Sarah's guardian and guide, Hoggle. Now this is just a head cast. They don't actually have the puppet in possession. Now that's an interesting story. After they finished filming Labyrinth, Jim Henson boarded a plane with Hoggle in his luggage, and the airline lost him in transit. He was eventually found in unclaimed baggage. Literally, unclaimed baggage. And sent to a store called Unclaimed Baggage in Scottsboro, Alabama. Now by the time he arrived at the store, he was heavily damaged and looked as though he was rotting. We're going to do a little time travel here and take a little trip to Unclaimed Baggage. And we made it. We're at the one and only, world famous, Unclaimed Baggage. They're famous for being the most known destination for unclaimed baggage in this country. They're also famous for being the home and restorers of the Hoggle puppet. And to be honest, it doesn't look like a whole lot from the outside. It looks like any other thrift store. And while this is not the place I would envision Hoggle spending the rest of his life, they did finance and have someone do a complete restoration on the puppet. Brought it back to life. Let's go inside and see how he's doing. And there he is, trapped away behind a window as their most prized exhibit. I can't believe I'm seeing this right now. They really did such a great job on the restoration. They even have one of his old hands that was beyond repair right there in front of him. He was in such bad shape in the pictures I saw. I'm so surprised that they were able to get him back to this quality. I gotta hand it to him. As much as I don't think he belongs here, they really did him justice with this restoration. Before I leave here, I really gotta say it.
That belongs in a museum!
Yeah, I hope one day the Center for Puppetry Arts can acquire this piece. I think that would be a much better home for Hoggle. In the meantime, this is where you can come to visit him. Alright, now we're going to do some more time travel. We're going to go back to the future, back to the Center for Puppetry Arts to finish our tour. And here we are crossing over to the other side of the museum, and this is the Global Collection. It's a collection of international puppets from all over the world. Look at these two. Now, these are more like figures more than puppets, but they were made back in 1200 to 1500. Are they puppets? I guess they sort of are. They have the holes in the sides of their arms where I guess you could articulate them. These are interesting pieces from Central and South America. These are a little scary looking. From Tony Sarg's Giant Balloons. Never heard of that one. The Federal Theater Project. I'm really out of my element here. Now that is a puppet. Apparently it's called a population puppet, and it's some kind of political puppet. I don't get it, but there it is. And so far we haven't seen a lot of these. These are marionettes. This room is kind of full of them. And we're starting to get into some of the less politically correct puppets. His name is Vice Boy. This is supposed to be Mae West and Carol Channing. Look into my eyes. Yeah, they have a little bit of the good and bad in this museum. Here's some famous ones. We have Gumby. I'm not sure who the potato head is next to him. It says the Glob. Not sure what that's from. And we have Santa. And these will be familiar to most people from the Corpse Bride. Oh man, I really can't believe they have these. They have Crow T. Robot and Tom Servo from Mystery Science Theater 3000. I wasn't expecting to find these guys here. This is pretty cool. I know a lot of you guys out there love this show. It's got a huge cult following. These are very unique. Kimono puppets. Okay, this guy is creepy. He looks like he should be locked away with Annabelle. Apparently these little puppets dance on water. Well, it's been interesting in the International Room. I think that's going to do it for today. Thanks for joining me on this trip through Muppet and puppet history. If you like it here, please subscribe to the channel. By doing so, it'll keep you up to date on further adventures. Get instant updates for future content by ringing that notification bell. And if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. See you next time.